Hey everyone, Chef Paul here, and I just wanted to do a quick recap of your week 3 assignment. So that was the creaming method. This is for your BK101 class, so week 3. So I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see what is due. Remember, everything is due Tuesday night by 11:59 p.m. Central Time. All right, sharing. Sharing's caring. Okay, here we go. Week 3, research materials. When you click on this, you will see the chapter 18 on cookies, and that is a good chapter to read. So this tells you all the ins and outs of cookie making. It also gives you some ideas if something fails, what went wrong. So if you're looking for different types of spread on your cookie, different types of textures, this will give you a lot of really good information. So please read chapter 18 if you haven't already. Understanding flavor has a good flavor wheel here, so this will give you guys the opportunity to see how flavors line up. This is the video with Chef Ann doing the chocolate chip cookies. And down here is information on contaminants that you should read, which will help you with your knowledge checks, okay? And then, so going back. Here we are. Down here is the knowledge check. Make sure that gets completed by Tuesday night, 11:59 p.m. Central Time. These close, right? So these close that night and they're not reopened. So make sure that is taken care of. Bonus math class part 2, that was right here. So if you click on this video, you can watch that. That was from last Friday. That was our last Baker's Math class. So make sure that you're watching them, okay? This was Baker's Math 2. And if you go back up to week 2, you'll see this was the Baker's Math 1 class, okay? So week 2 has Baker's Math 1 and week 3 has Baker's Math 2. So make sure you're watching both of those if you missed the live sessions. This will help you because you will need to do the Baker's Math for sure when you get to your next class. All right, so creaming method right here. Creaming method drop cookie is all you're making. 1 cookie this week. You're going to present 6 of them. This is the formula, chocolate chip cookies. So this yields about 20 grams, or 20 grams. This yields about 20 cookies, 2 grams each. And you want to keep the formula the same. That is totally fine. You wouldn't need the Baker's Math for that. Here are the percentages down the side. And if you want to cut the formula in half, then using Baker's percentages, you can do that. Make sure you show your work on your narrative. But here we're asking for pastry flour. And I get a lot of emails and messages like, how do I make pastry flour? Remember, in the Ask Your Questions Here section of your page, you will see the formula for that. But just so you can verbally hear it too, to make a big batch of pastry flour, which you'll be using throughout the program, do 2 pounds of all-purpose flour, sifted together with 1 pound of cake flour. So make sure it's evenly combined, put it in a container, and you can just work from that. And then when you get low, make another batch. 2 pounds all-purpose flour, 1 pound pastry flour. If you want to make a little batch, a tiny batch, you can do 3 or 2/3 cup of all-purpose flour and 1/3 cup of cake flour sifted together. So that makes 1 cup of pastry flour sifted together. So keep that on hand because you will be needing it, okay? Because it's hard to find in the stores, and I don't want you guys running to 40 different stores trying to get it. And whole wheat pastry flour is not the same thing, okay? It's a whole different animal. So stay away from that for now. Pastry flour, baking soda, salt, butter. So you want to use unsalted butter here. You can make sure that it's at 70 degrees, which is considered room temperature. So if you're in a hot climate, don't leave your butter out too long because it will melt. If you're in a cold climate, then you may have to leave it out a little longer, cut it into little chunks, let it warm up a little bit, good to go. Brown sugar here, it can be dark or white, does not matter, okay? Eggs, 90 grams, so you're gonna crack 2 eggs. If they're large eggs, crack 2 eggs, whisk it together with a fork, like you're making an omelet, and then measure out your 90 grams. Don't over add eggs, because it'll make your cookie too cakey. And then down below, chocolate chips, 300 grams, and then you can do a variety of chocolate chips if you want. You can do milk, white, and dark. Just make sure it does not go over 300 grams total. And then the walnuts or chopped pecans are optional. You don't have to put them in unless you want to. If you want to use a different type of nut, you can. Just make sure you don't go over 120 grams. And that is it for the assignment. So if you guys have questions, let me know. Make sure the knowledge check gets taken care of by Tuesday night. Make sure your assignment is submitted on time by Tuesday night. You guys are still in conditional enrollment, so you need to be passing your class. For those that are in conditional enrollment, I should say, you need to be passing both of your classes before or by the end of week 4. So we are moving into week 4. We'll start that class tomorrow where we do the double chocolate chunk cookie. And then we can talk about that in class. So that's going to be really tasty. Just a completely different version than the chocolate chip cookie and just another method that you guys will be learning. Any questions? Let Chef Jen or myself know. We'll be happy to help you, and have a great week. Thanks.